Why should I follow the agreement that y'all are saying y'all reached? Because he's on deferred for a theft case. And it was enhanced to a felony because he has previous theft. And now he's back and he has pled true to another theft case. Why shouldn't he receive 2 years? What's going on? Why is he committing theft? So why is this happening?
Well, I was having I was homelessman, so I was, I mean, it doesn't give me the right to, to take anything. It's not mine, but I was having a hard time with that, so I was trying to just get money to be able to get a room and not be on the street.
Why not Haven for Hope? Does Haven for Hope charge?
We had him check into that, Judge. And
that's what I actually 2 days ago, ma'am. I just got approved to.
But no, that was 2 days ago. This offense is the offense that you pled true to was January 8, 2026. So you're telling me that you were homeless and that's why you were stealing. So why didn't you do Haven for Hope before January 8, 2026?
One offense.
All right. And so
this is on the agreement, Your Honor, that the defendant's probation would be alternately amended to add a cognitive behavior.
All right. Probation, do you think this is appropriate?
Yes, Judge.
How long is a cognitive behavioral course?
Judge, I want to say it's 20 weeks. 1 second.
And is there any need for any no contact orders?
10 weeks long, and it's 20 hours, so 2 hours per week for 10 weeks. And I believe there's already a no contact order in place.
All right. Is there anything else needed?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court
No, ma'am.
to be successful?
No, I've been doing a good job.
All right. So you need to continue doing that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused.
Okay.
You too.
So she's got her bar card.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's when I got my bar card as well. And everybody is always interested in my bar number, but my bar number is so easy to remember because other people who waited to get their bar card after they passed the bar, all of their bar numbers began with 2,400. And they're like, Stephanie, how did you get 9,000? I'm like, I'm a student attorney. Well, congratulations in advance on your passage of the bar exam.
Yes. Good vibes.
Yeah, it's going to be
Really
great.
happen.
When I was in law school, so many things happened when I was studying for the bar. I ended up getting the flu. I ended up getting a sinus infection,
That'll happen.
ear infection. That's why I think this ear is always funny. But I took the February bar.
Oh.
And so my passion has always been criminal law. So I said, okay, I'll be fine if I didn't hear the thing on criminal law. And then I'm like, con law, I'll be fine. Because they really can't play any tricks because con law is con law. But I couldn't afford because everybody was taking Barbary, because you had to pay for it. They had just come out with Westlaw. And Westlaw had a bar program. And so this guy comes up to me, he's like, Stephanie, if you sell, 3 of these Westlaw things, you get the Westlaw books for free. I'm like, I'm in. So I ended up getting Westlaw. My best friend ended up getting Barbary. And then they had that, I don't think they do it anymore. They had that third day thing where it was short answer. And I don't know what happened with that. It's the rumor. These are just rumors. Some people said people would go in, take it, and they never changed those short answers. So this other thing was like $250 or $300 just for people to come in and teach you about that. And of course, I couldn't afford it. My best friend was like, Stephanie, I'm paying for that. I'll let you know what's said.
Oh, awesome.
And so in the middle of getting sick, 3 things happened that were great. Number 1, I never took all in gas. And one of my friends was in my class. He's like, Stephanie, I'm gonna help you out. Meanwhile, I had eardrops in my ear, so I'm leaning over like this way. He comes into our study room and he goes to the white eraser board. He's like, this is called a Derrick. This is where we can't take all. This is what'll happen if you do this. And that exact question was on the exam. straight like that. And then I met a couple who were on their last chance to pass the bar before they had to retake the first year over. I don't know if they still do that. And so I was like, oh my gosh, do I really need to hear this? And so after they told us that, somebody came in and they're like, Stephanie, I'm like, yes. They're like, do you have a C in you? I'm like, what do you mean, do I have a C? He's like, if you get a C, you will pass the bar. And I'm like, okay, I'm back here. I can do this. I can do this. And then he told me something else. He said, Stephanie, at the end of the day, what they're trying to see really is that you won't commit malpractice.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my advice for taking the bar. For the essay portion, if it's something you don't know, start just talking about ethics. You'll probably get at least 60% or 70% if you just talk about ethics.
Going for the shotgun method approach of like, I don't know this, but I will talk about every other thing that I know from this subject.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
Question, I remember one question we had on that. It was commercial paper question. It was,
Doing that one right now.
yeah, it was the employer
Mm-hmm.
had a secretary. Somebody came in with a check that was due to the employer, and everybody's like, yep, the contract, this is what was owed, but they forgot to sign it. The secretary signs it and puts, it goes here, and she went to cash it for employer. And you just had to talk about that. And did she do it correctly? Should she have done it? And of course, I'm thinking about my check days. I'm like, and then, I went all flowery on them about ethics. But you're going to do great.
That is a
And welcome.
good
You're welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
Where are my St. Mary's people, graduates, went to St. Mary's? 3L right here.
Right. Congratulations.
So as you can see, they all passed the bar, and all they needed to get was a C.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably got an A plus. But so there you go.
I did get an A in bar prep.
Well, there you go.
I'm so mad about my A- in crim.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, she's upset. She got an A- in criminal law. Is this where we do a Game of Thrones? Shame, shame.
Thank you.
But come by anytime. Who's ready?
Yes, ma'am, I have our photo, page 3, side down.
Rosalind Torres.
Okay, so that's the interpreter. Norma wants me to do the interpreter first.
All right.
Interpreter here.
Sure.
And then. How are you? And the interpreter is for page 1, 2 down. Mr. Rocha.
All right, Malara.
Can we call you next because the interpreter is here and she could rather.
All right, hello.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
sure.
Not
It's
my-
3 seconds. Yeah.
I understand.
This is the interpreter.
No, Your Honor.
Oh. Who's here with the interpreter? Yes. And then we'll take yours next.
And you haven't seen the audience, they'll call you right back up. So.
I understand. No problem.
And one second, sorry.
Okay, so today we're here for discovery. So are there any issues with discovery?
Your Honor, we are still waiting on some records. There were some new appointments that we had, or sorry, that she had this year. They're still being treated then, so we have ordered those records since it's happened. I do think we're on the road to a resolution. So if we could just maybe have a like deadline hearing.
All right, so how much time do y'all need for this?
It depends on the doctor who's analyzing the records, Judge.
Let's just say a week or two.
All right, so what I'll do, I'm gonna recall you back in 3 weeks. If they have the information before that time, they can just come in and put it on the docket.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date?
March 12th.
All right, so we'll be back on March 12th. And if your attorney in the state wants you back sooner, they'll let me know. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good one.
Judge Pepper discovery?
No, they say it's disposition, but we'll see where we are.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and who was the other person?
Art Torres, page 3, side down for Mr. Rocha.
All right, Ms. Torres.
Now it says.
I was wondering, is there a list? Should I get on those? I'm just waiting on paperwork. Okay.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've already put it.
All right, so where are we?
Judge, I believe that the defendant is gonna be a testifying witness in one of family violence cases, but family violence had their trial reset. So we're asking for a reset as well.
But when is she due?
It's a contested.
Still,
Supposed to be.
we don't know. The what?
I'm already dilated.
All right, so who's the attorney on the contested?
PSI on an afternoon docket, perhaps. I don't know.
Where is he?
You still at the jail, Judge, they don't have,
Are they able to, can he appear by Zoom?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if he can appear by Zoom.
Will that be this afternoon or this morning?
No, it's gonna happen now,
Happen up?
Yes.
Okay,
today, this morning.
very well. I've got to go check into two courts. I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Norma, have him by Zoom. All right, who's next?
Yes, and I have Lily. Oh, let's start that out on page 1, 3 down.
Almost ready, we're signing paperwork.
All right, thank you. Who else?
Right, okay. Yeah, I'm a.
Anyone else?
Yes, ma'am, give me 1 moment, please. Yours. Devin Grisham. There he says it's, please, let me, where's that? Here we go. It's an NCR.
Is there anything else? Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Devin Grisham.
Judge.
Yeah, they were going for this.
Are y'all proceeding on the motion to revoke?
Yes, Judge, I have to insert a video again.
All right, thank you.
One more thing. Not right. We went over with the judge. Would you please?
All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 010368 State versus Devin Grisham. Could I have parties announced?
Christopher, sentence for the defense.
And are you Mr. Grisham?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Devin Roy Grisham who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2025 CR 010368 for the offense of theft of property less than $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions on October 7, 2025 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, state.
Judge, if you're proceeding on a, just a. You're right. Judge, if you're proceeding on violation condition number 1, specifically that on or about the 8th day of January 2026 in Fairfield, Texas, the defendant, Devin Roy Grisham, committed the offense of theft of property in violation of condition number 1.
Do you plead to that true or not true?
True.
Judge, the recommended on.
Are you
will weigh
proceeding on that? All right, any objection to the state's waivers?
No objections, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Judge, the proposed agreement is to revoke the defendant, place him in the state jail for 8 months, and the state will be TICing cause number 2026 CR 001815.
All right, and is that a theft case?
It is, Judge.
All right.
And that is our agreement, Judge.
So the question becomes, why should I follow the agreement that y'all are saying y'all reached? Because he's on deferred for a theft case. And it was enhanced to a felony because he has previous theft. And now he's back and he has pled true to another theft case. Why shouldn't he receive 2 years? What's going on? Why is he committing thefts?
May I speak, ma'am?
All right, you want to You want him to testify?
Yes, Mr. Grisham would like to speak, so.
You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Devin Grisham, ma'am.
All right, so why is this happening?
Well, I was having I was homeless, man. So it doesn't give me the right to, take me, and it's not mine, but I was having a hard time with that, so I was trying to just get money to be able to get a room and not be on the street.
Why not Haven for Hope? Does Haven for Hope charge?
We had him check into that, Judge, and he
That's what I actually, 2 days ago, ma'am, I just got approved to.
But no, that was 2 days ago. This offense is the offense that you pled true to was January 8, 2026. So you're telling me that you were homeless and that's why you were stealing. So why didn't you do Haven for Hope before January 8, 2026?
I should.
And did you contact probation and tell them you were having issues?
Yes, ma'am. I was checking with probation.
No. Did you contact probation and tell them you were having issues with being homeless and what was going on in your life? Because they're here to help you.
No.
Did you do anything on probation?
Yes, ma'am. I was
What did you
checking
do?
with him. I had gotten started with, he got me set up with classes. We had just, me and my probation officer, I'd just seen him like a day before I got arrested. And started, to get things set up.
But I mean, he's been on probation since October 7th, 2025. What does he mean?
Judge, I believe we tried to get him into the felony drug court.
Mhm.
They found that he didn't meet the criteria.
Mhm.
And so I believe he'd been held. After the screening on that, I believe that would have been the most successful route for him.
Any questions?
No question, Judge.
Probation,
Yes, sir.
what are you all recommending?
I believe it was ISF.
Recommended listed on the court summary indicates upon disposition of the pending case of main conditions for local ISF, followed by ISP. He was not accepted into felony drug court, judge, due to him not meeting the criteria for substance dependence. Probation met with him one time, and then he was rearrested 3 months after being granted for this same offense.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a choice. These are your only two choices. There are no other choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
First choice, I will revoke you. I'll sentence you to 1 year at the state jail facility. Second choice, I will continue you. We'll try to work with you. I say we, probation will, but you're going to be going to ISF.
That's that 90-day program we just.
Well, here's the thing. You know yourself better than I do, better than your attorney does, better than probation does. If you want help, I will continue you. If you don't, I'll sentence you to a year in the state jail facility. With a year in the state jail facility, you receive credit for any time that you've been in custody on this case. Otherwise, you're going to be transferred to ISF. And then hopefully, you'll be better able to communicate with probation. So which do you prefer?
I'm looking right now.
Year state jail, ma'am.
Okay. Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, the court then will revoke, find you guilty, sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. I'll request the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. I have no jurisdiction to force them to place you in the program. You'll have to request it as well, but it should help you with whatever issues you may be experiencing. There's to be no contact with Quick Trip or Walmart And no unsupervised contact with minors. Taking consideration 2026 CR 001815. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, please.
Because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're gonna have to start making better choices. If everybody who didn't have money stole, where would we be as a society, right? There are plenty of places that can help you. Excuse me. There are plenty of places that can help you. There's Haven for Hope. There's the Salvation Army. If you can't find some place when you're released, if I'm still here, you come back here and I will pick up the phone to call somebody to help you and give you access to programs, all right? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Come on this way.
No, I'm going.
All right, who's next?
Yes, I'm sorry, someone's signing in the room. You okay? Yeah. Okay. What's the name?
Jason Montez, I just feel like I'm my last name.
Okay. You're Jason Marshall? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Perfect. I'm ready for one, Judge.
Yes.
I have it on page 1. 6 down.
Is this Harper?
Put you all the way to the end.
Yes.
Who's down Harper?
Gerald. Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Hello,
Good morning.
good morning. Yes, so,
He's in TDC.
yeah, there's supposed to be a bench warrant that was done. It was supposed to be done on February 2nd. How long is this bench warrant taking?
Days.
I checked this morning, he's still in Garza West. Like he showed up as an active inmate in Garza West. He wouldn't show up if he wasn't.
All right, recall this for the first week in March.
March 5th.
All right, we'll see you back on March 5th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else is ready?
Yes, I'm Jason Montes, page 7. Bottom. And so I should go to this.
All right, Jason Montes. Are you all ready to proceed on the MTR?
I get the joke.
Hello. Court is calling 2024 CR 5800 State versus Jason Montez. Can our parties announce for the record?
State, Christopher Simpkins for the defense.
And are you Mr. Montez? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the,
I don't mean to interrupt you. The state is saying that they're gonna withdraw this. So
Okay.
I just need a moment to talk to.
all right, thank you. All right, just step back, okay.
One to twin, right back where you were before.
And just one that is and one way it should not be written.
Mhm. There's $1,000 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution, the MRT, and the DOEP course. You understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, y'all proceed to exhibit one and all.
No objection.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Only judge that she does live in Corpus Christi, so we ask that her probation be transferred to Nueces County.
Okay. All right. Do you have any children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
18, 14, 11.
All right. Do they live with you or someone else?
They live with me.
All right. Who are they living with now?
My mother.
All right. Is there a child protective services case involved with this? And does your mom live with you?
Yes.
Okay.
She does have support here with her. Her boyfriend and her grandmother are here in Fort.
Okay. Thank you. So how long were you in Bear County before this incident?
Just 2 weeks.
Okay. And who is the Leslie person who was in the vehicle?
It was only hers. But
Sorry, what?
there were hers.
No, I mean, who is she to you?
Nobody.
Okay. And was that her vehicle you were driving?
No, it's mine.
Okay. And what were you doing at the detention facility?
I was taking her to go see her boyfriend.
So it's Dominguez State Jail. Yes, whenever you go onto prison property, they will search the vehicle. Okay. And so, and I always ask questions because I'm trying to figure out what conditions are appropriate for people. So when you were driving her to Dominguez, your children were in Corpus? They were here?
No, they were in Corpus, grandmother.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
11.
All right. So what do you do for employment?
I was a provider.
All right. So in this court, you know, I don't allow people to be home healthcare providers.
Been there for 2 years.
Okay. So, other than being a home healthcare provider, do you have any dreams, goals, hopes, ambitions?
Well, I'm gonna look for a new job. That most definitely.
But I mean, what's your dream job?
If I could build up my credit, I could like invest in like homes, trailers, so I can.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will transfer to Nueces County. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 3 years deferred adjudication. No contact with Leslie Silguero, Silguero. There's to be 120 hours. All right, you have me, Avashan?
Judge, transferred to Lake County, no unsupervised contact with minors, no contact with
Silguero, Silguero. 3 years deferred adjudication. 120 hours of community service hours. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once the parenting classes are complete, the 20 hours will be deemed satisfied. You can obtain your GED or some sort of trade school certification. If you do that, then the remaining of the 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, the MRT course, DOEP. And probation, I don't know if they do field visits there, but if they do field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right. Did you review trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have children who are depending on you. The range of punishment for this offense, if a motion to revoke is filed, is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison. From here on out, everything you do, if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for your children. Be on the straight and narrow. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back here to me, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Yes, yes. Montreal, it's page 8.
You know, after what we're in, let's get this spot from. Yeah, Carl Robinson refused to count this. Anyway.
All right, who's here on Monreal?
Yes.
Who's the prosecutor?
Me, Judge.
Right here in the middle, please. Thank you.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 006058B State versus Roberto Monreal. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Goss for Mr. Monreal.
All right, so there's a motion to amend bond conditions to allow for travel. And then there's another motion asking that contact be allowed with a specific individual.
Well, I believe that
It's
they-
connected to this.
I don't think that order is the proper order. I think there is an additional motion that we have, but it's kind of a strange one. Pretrial has,
So are we hearing that today?
I think they had two different.
Okay, so are we, well, you can't tear it apart because
Oh.
they filed it some sort of way.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a different defendant, so it's not.
No, but I mean, they have to unstaple it because
I'm sorry.
they're filing it legally, however they're filing
Yes.
it.
Yes, ma'am. That would be a different defendant. So we're here on Roberto Monreal.
All right. Again, you want to look through that? All right, so motion to travel. State, are you opposed?
It's not this time, and the reason for that is due to the charge not being alleged, and we do believe due to the father living in Arizona, that does present a flight risk, and so that's why we're not.
My client's 18 years old. The prosecutor referenced the charge. It is a murder charge. This is a situation from the arrest warrant affidavit where that the court could see that there is
Oh, I don't have the arrest warrant affidavit in
I
front of me.
understand. I believe it's in the court's file. Usually it's filed as part
We're
of.
paperless,
Okay.
so I don't have
I
that.
understand.
That's okay.
If I could, since you referenced the charge itself, and I think the prosecutor will at least agree on the facts that there was a person who died, but that person was in the same car as my client.
Mhm.
So this was not a person he was basically participating in whatever my client was participating in. My client was not a shooter. My client did not have a gun. My client was not involved in that. Now, the only reason I say that for the court is that if considering the charge, that I think those facts are also important. But additionally, his father lives in Arizona. He's 18 years old. He would like to go visit his father. The court has already granted him travel previously in the past where he did travel and he came back. And
That was during Christmas holidays, right?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's shown the court that he is not a flight risk. He's 18. Like I said, he's 18. There's not really, he doesn't really have anywhere to go, but he would like to see his father. He hasn't been able to see his father since he's been arrested. And so that's why we're asking for that brief period to go to Arizona and to come back, and for that travel to be granted.
Judge, I will agree to a certain extent with Mr. Boss's rendition of the facts. It is a felony murder, so there's an underlying felony that was occurring at the time of the murder. And I will stipulate that this defendant was not charged as the principal. And if the court would like, I can produce a copy of the arrest warrant.
And we have no objection to that. If the
All right.
court wants that.
Let me see that. Mr. Monreal, who all lives in the household with your father?
It's just my father, Your Honor.
We're off the record for briefly. Bashan,
Yes, Judge.
so on Montez,
Yes, Judge.
they say they're just waiting on the referral.
Who was deceased was the person that they're alleging was committing the robbery, shot by the alleged victim of the robbery. As the court can see, my client did not have a firearm, did not carry a firearm, and we're going to be litigating this case. But I just wanted the court to understand this, because I know the court knows, but just to see the facts of this case, there's a difference between somebody actively committing violence by taking a gun, shooting a gun at a person. My client didn't do any of those things. And really what we're asking at this point is just to on this motion is to have him be able to visit his father. As I said, he is 18 years old, was 18 years old at the time of the commission of this offense. So he is a teenager, and we do think that it's important for him to see his father. We think that by the court giving him the opportunity the court has given him before, and him being able to take that opportunity and to do what he was supposed to do and what the court asked him to do, and follow the rules of pretrial and the bond conditions this court has set upon him. We believe that he's shown the court that he can be trusted to go visit with his father and return. And we don't think that there's any information or evidence the state has provided that that would not be the case.
Okay, this is what the court is going to do. Previously, the court allowed the defendant to travel December 22nd through the 27th, and that was to Denver with family. And are there any allegations that he violated any pretrial conditions while traveling there?
I understand that's when there's no still right.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will allow you to visit your father. I'll give you the same travel that I've given before, but it's for 5 days. That was the Christmas travel, and this will be for 5 days. So it's 5 days from March 7th. Are you leaving March 7th or a different date? All right, so you'll need to provide that information to pretrial services. So then your travel date that's on this motion, it says March 7th through March 15th. That's not the appropriate travel date?
I believe that it is the appropriate travel date, but as the court has limited that date, I don't know. I don't know necessarily how that would limit as far as where the 5 days are going to be at the end, or the 5 days are going to be starting from the 7th or coming back from the 15th. You see what I mean? And so it might be the 10th or the 11th through the 15th. Or
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the motion. You're allowed to travel to Phoenix, Arizona in the month of March 2026 for 5 days. There should be UA upon return. And you're to reside at the address that's given in the motion. Is there anything else?
Not for the defense on this motion. There is an issue I'd like to address with the court. I've talked to the district clerk, and they have not been able to. There's a letter his pretrial officer has written to the court. I think the court wanted a hearing based upon that letter. I know, and they couldn't find it either. I don't know if probation might have access to it, but the basic issue is my client would like to apply to a trade school, and he asked his pretrial officer for permission to do that. She did not grant it. She wrote a letter to the court. The school would start in September.
All right, if somebody want to contract, who's the pretrial service officer?
From
Yes.
Amanda Sings.
All right, Norma, see if she can zoom in. Or if you'll let the coordinator know who it is, and then we'll have her zoom in.
Sings.
Fine,
Yeah, Science.
Amanda, fine.
All right, just have a seat. She'll zoom in and we'll take up the matter.
Yes, thanks.
State, do you have any objection to taking up that matter now?
No.
Okay. Who else is ready?
Danny Rodriguez, page, read one down, Judge.
Danny Rodriguez.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going.
Let's see.
I'm used to that.
All right, so where are we on the PTD?
It was accepted. He signed, prosecutor signed, I've signed, and we're just gonna turn it in.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date.
Yeah. March 19th.
All right, just make sure you follow through on everything, okay? Good luck. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Who's next?
I guess it's Angela Boyd, it's the plea, okay.
Angela Ball. Counsel, is there an application?
There's not, Your Honor.
Okay. Probation, there's no application. Court is calling 2025 CR 014580 State versus Angela Ball. Can I have parties announced?
Daniel De La Garza for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Ball? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Ball, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Ms. Ball, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession. Oh, just one second. Oh, you're charged with manufacturing and delivering of a controlled substance penalty group 2 or 2A, 1 to 4 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call on the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
No, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ball, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison, and there's a $1,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, sheet after sheet, exhibit 1 and not.
No objection.
State your excuse. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just she takes responsibility.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine, time and money run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Austin Escamilla and Johnny Vasquez Jr. So do you want this to run concurrent with parole or has that been addressed?
Please, it has not been addressed, but I would like it. to, Yes.
All right, concurrent with, let me see. The parole number is not in here, so you'll have to.
I'll either get it or I'll supplement it with the clerk.
All right, concurrent with parole sentence.
We'll do that today, Your Honor.
All right, and there's to be no residing in households with minors. And no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. How old are you? All right, so look, you're gonna have to start changing your ways. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself spending the rest of your life at a prison or at jail. You understand? And here's the other thing. When you're doing these type of things, that's you building your happiness off somebody else's misery. You can't do that. No good will ever come of that, okay? All right, when you're released from prison, if you need help staying on the straight and narrow, if I'm still here, you come back. I'll help you find a place to help you, okay? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Carl Robinson, H2 down. Thanks again.
Thank you.
The next one.
Carl Robinson.
Present, Your Honor.
Hello.
Mr. Robinson refused to come over from the jail. He was set on yesterday's docket. This is our second, maybe third sitting at the most. We are close to still negotiating for a plea. He was a little upset yesterday because some discovery documents he was looking at, he couldn't take back with him to the jail cell, to the jail, you know. Regardless, Judge, I'd like to get a reset for it, and I'm still talking to the state.
All right. Norma,
Yes, sir.
set this in 2 weeks for a jury trial. And Deputy Laura, he'll need to be dressed.
Yeah, March 3rd.
Now, can you do it on March 4th?
Sure. March 3rd.
Judge, I'm gonna be out of the country March 9th through the 13th, so I don't think our trial is gonna be able to resolve in 48 hours.
You say March when?
March 9th through the 13th. I'll be out
Well,
of,
let's see what happens. Let's see where we are.
we can always try and
Yeah.
see where we're at.
All right, Norma, put it for March 4th.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll notate that you're supposed to be out of the country. Where are you gonna be?
My wife are going to Israel. If Trump doesn't bomb Iran,
Oh, okay. See, we know what may happen.
you know how that goes.
Okay.
Carl, okay. Maybe excuse, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, who's ready?
Christian Garza, page 1 at the bottom, Judge.
Christian Garza.
Yeah.
All right, are there applications?
No, Judge.
And there's just a plea on one case?
Yes, Judge, TIC the rest.
All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 014939 State versus Christian Garza. Can I have parties announced?
Brandon Brennan for the state.
John Pettis for defense.
And are you Mr. Garza? Okay. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garza, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge will be proceeding solely on count one, waiving and abandoning the remaining counts.
Any
No objection.
objection?
No objections, Judge.
Mr. Garza, did you review court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
The charge with aggravated robbery in count one, that's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is and was, Judge.
Mr. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sorry?
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Judge.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and reentry. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. State will take in consideration 2025 CR 011050 and 2025 CR 011063. If the court finds that a weapon was used in this case, then there will be an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Is that the agreement, defense?
Yes.
State?
That is the agreement, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Judge.
By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No problem.
State any evidence.
Judge, we have to state exhibit number one, including all of its attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right. And state you've spoken with the complainant?
We have, Judge.
Thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
All right. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.